chị Tiên xảy ra chuyện rồi. Tôi cảnh cáo cô bao nhiêu lần rồi, cô vẫn đi ra bệnh chắc là thế nào? Cô có tư hình để đánh cô đúng không?
Cô chỉ đến đây để làm việc thôi.
Sao cô đi đánh lăn? Cô nói cô không hiểu à? Ôi chết rồi anh Đắc ơi, chị Tiên xảy ra chuyện rồi. Anh ơi em, người ta đâu mà chị Tiên rồi, anh đến đây luôn đi. Kìa anh ơi, xem người ta thế nào rồi.
Xem nào.
Mà anh ý rồi mãi thế không đến. Làm nào bây giờ?
Người nào lâu tới thế nhỉ?
Anh đến rồi. Anh lên đi, sao
Anh
lâu
ơi,
thế?
chị có cấp cứu này anh ơi.
Anh ơi, chị chắc mấy thân mà bây giờ tôi đi đâu bây giờ? Ôi, đau chân quá. Anh quay lưng đây, hảo chị lên. Chân của em đau quá.
The first light of dawn pierces a thick curtain of mist, spilling a fragile golden glow over the rugged hills where Tien's modest farm nestles like a fragile dream against the earth. The uploaded photos reveal a tranquil courtyard, where the sharp, insistent crow of a rooster shatters the pre-dawn silence, its silhouette bold against a bamboo fence adorned with delicate wild orchids, while ducks waddle near a patch of lush greens, their soft quacks blending with the rustle of leaves. Tien awakens in her simple thatched hut, the faint scent of straw and earth filling her senses as she stretches, her joints creaking from the night's rest. She steps outside, the cool morning air brushing her cheeks, and settles on a weathered wooden bench, gazing at the waking farm. Turning to the camera, her smile is warm yet tinged with exhaustion. Good morning, everyone. Wishing you a day filled with peace and strength. The images capture her kneeling beside a gaunt mother dog, its ribs starkly visible beneath its matted fur as it nurses a lively litter of pups, her hand gently stroking its head. She's been so weak lately, Tien murmurs, her voice soft with worry. I'll go to the market for some milk and maybe a bit of rice. She needs nourishment. The farm stirs to life around her. Chickens peck at the ground, kicking up small clouds of dust. A distant water buffalo lows as a farmer in a conical hat guides it through the shimmering paddies, and a stray cat stretches lazily near a bamboo trellis, its eyes glinting in the dawn. Tien rises, adjusting her hat, the photos showing her moving to the garden where she tends rows of vibrant kohlrabi, her hands deftly unearthing bulbs that glow like ivory against the dark soil. These will keep us going, she whispers to herself, a quiet resolve in her tone, though her mind drifts to the city where her work with Jack's company ties her to a different world. The images shift to an office within a thatched hut, where Jack, her boss, sits at a cluttered desk, signing off on 10 apartment handover files. His voice carries a steady authority. Kyo, prepare 10 flower baskets for the new homeowners. Let's make their day special. Kyo nods, scribbling notes as Jack adds, fantastic work, team. Over 20 projects this month. Bonuses are coming, but safety is our foundation. He glances at framed photos of construction sites on the wall, then instructs, arrange an urgent meeting with our partners for the new branch contract. Kyo pauses, her tone laced with concern. Sir, Hung's been unreliable. Files are stacking up. She's absent from the office and sites, and her phone's off. Jack's brow furrows, a flicker of unease crossing his face. That's not her usual self. Could it be family troubles? I'll try calling her. The photos cut to Hung, slouched on a faded couch in a dimly lit room, her voice sharp with frustration as she vents to her boyfriend. "Work's suffocating me and I'm out of money." He leans back, smirking. "You're not broke. Why chase Jack with his mansion and car when I've got cash to burn?" He shifts closer, his tone persuasive. "Quit that job. Move in with me, my crew's expanding and I can take care of you." Hung twists a silver ring on her finger, her gaze distant and conflicted. "I'll think it over," she says softly, her mind wrestling with the choice. Back at the office, Jack dials Hung, but the line remains silent. "No answer," he mutters, rubbing his chin. Could her past heartbreak be haunting her again? The tension escalates as Jack tries once more, his voice firm. "Hung, those contracts need your attention. Get back to work." In her room, Hung groans. "Jack's on my case non-stop." Her boyfriend narrows his eyes, suspicion flaring. "This reeks of Tien's meddling." Hung nods, her voice hardening. "She's sabotaging me. I'm sure of it." Nearby, Zhang, seated at a nearby table, overhears their sinister plot and discreetly follows them, her heart pounding. Hung's boyfriend dials high, his tone sharp. "Why hasn't Tien been dealt with?" Hung cuts in, her anger boiling over. "Hi, break her leg. Let my guy do it. I'll pay handsomely." He grins. "Send me her location. We'll watch it happen." The photos capture Hung's cold, calculating smirk as Zhang, hidden in the shadows, snaps a photo with her phone. Meanwhile, Tien reaches a vibrant market, the images bursting with life. Stalls overflowing with mangoes, lychees, and spices, vendors shouting prices. She haggles for milk, tomatoes, and a small bag of rice, asking, "How much?" The vendor tallies, 50,000 VND. She nods, carefully packing her basket, her thoughts on the dogs, oblivious to the danger lurking as a figure watches from the crowd. Tien trudges along a winding, dusty path, the uploaded photos showing her basket swaying gently as she nears a quiet crossroads, the thatched huts receding into a thick veil of mist that clings to the ground like a shroud. A sudden chill grips her heart. She senses an unseen menace, her steps quickening as her instincts scream a primal warning. The weight of her basket pulling at her shoulders. The images reveal a group on roaring motorbikes speeding toward her, led by Hung's boyfriend and Hai, their faces hardened with ruthless intent, dust and gravel kicking up in swirling clouds behind them, the engines a menacing growl. He shouts to Hai over the deafening roar. "Ram her! Snap that leg like Hung demanded, no mistakes." Tien's pulse thunders in her ears. She fumbles for her phone with trembling, sweat-slicked hands, her fingers slipping as she dials Jack, her breath hitching. "Jack, please, I need you, help me, they're coming," she whispers, her voice cracking with raw fear. But it goes to voicemail. The silence on the other end a cruel echo as she's left isolated in the encroaching danger. The photos capture the heart-wrenching moment a bike slams into her with bone-jarring force, sending her crashing to the ground in a tangle of limbs, blood trickling from a gash on her forehead as she blacks out, her basket shattering, milk and tomatoes spilling into the dirt, staining the earth with vivid red and white, the scene frozen in a haunting stillness. A piercing, anguished scream tears through the air as Zhang, who had been tailing the group with growing dread, witnesses the brutal assault, the photos freezing her wide-eyed horror. her hands clutching her phone so tightly her knuckles whiten. She dials Jack, her voice breaking with desperate urgency. "Jack, Tien's been hit by a bike. Come now please, she's bleeding badly." Still no answer, the line dead as her panic mounts. Zhang dashes to Tien's side, dropping to her knees in the dust, tears streaming down her face as she presses her scarf to the wound, her hands shaking uncontrollably, the fabric soaking with blood. A stranger, a rugged man with kind, weary eyes, a weathered jacket, and a satchel slung over his shoulder, emerges from the trees, his face etched with concern and a hint of recognition. "Is she alive? Let me help," he asks, pulling a water bottle, a clean cloth, and a small first aid kit from his bag. Together they try to revive her, the images showing his steady hands tilting her head as Zhang sobs. "Tien, please hold on. Don't leave us, fight." Tien stirs, a weak, pained groan escaping her lips, pain searing through her leg and head, her vision swimming with dizziness and flashes of the attack. "It hurts. I can't feel my leg, where am I? Help!" she whimpers, her voice fading into a whisper. Just then, Jack's car screeches to a halt, tires skidding on the loose dirt, the photos capturing his frantic leap from the driver's seat, his face pale with terror, eyes wide with guilt and a burning resolve. "Tien!" he shouts, rushing to her side, joining Zhang and the stranger to lift her carefully, his hands trembling as he brushes dirt and blood from her face. "Zhang, stay with her. Leave the basket. Let's get to the hospital fast, she needs a doctor now," he orders, his voice thick with urgency, guilt, and a fierce determination to save her. Elsewhere, the photos shift to Hung and her boyfriend at a noisy roadside eatery, the air heavy with the aroma of grilled meat, rice wine, and cigarette smoke, their table cluttered with empty plates, beer bottles, and scattered peanut shells. They clink glasses, laughing raucously as he boasts, "We got 10 job done just like you wanted, she's down for good." He leans in, a greedy glint in his eye. "Where's my reward, huh? You promised big." Hung smirks, sipping her drink with a casual, chilling air. "She'll wake up soon. Nothing serious, just a little scared to teach her a lesson." They dig into their meal, sharing crude jokes and toasting their victory, oblivious to the chaos they've unleashed, their confidence unshaken as they revel in their perceived triumph. Hai, looking unsteady from too much drink, his shirt stained with sweat and liquor, mutters, "I'm out, catch you later," and staggers off, nearly tripping over a chair and knocking over a tray, while Hung turns to her boyfriend. "Let's hit the bars tonight, celebrate our win properly." The images show them leaving, their laughter echoing into the dusk, unaware that Zhang's quick photos, the stranger's intervention, and Jack's arrival are their undoing. A web of evidence tightening around them. Back at the crossroads, the stranger helps Jack secure Tien in the car, the photos lingering on her blood-streaked face, the stranger's concerned frown, the scattered remnants of her basket, and the fading tire tracks of the attackers as they speed toward the hospital, hope teetering on the edge of despair. The engines roar, a lifeline cutting through the silence, the stranger murmuring a prayer under his breath. In a stark, antiseptic hospital room bathed in the pale glow of fluorescent lights, the uploaded photos show Tien lying on a narrow bed, her leg wrapped in a thick bandage, a faint bruise shadowing her forehead, a small drip attached to her arm, and a monitor tracing her heartbeat with a steady, fragile beep. The doctor approaches with a relieved but cautious nod. It's a sprain and minor cuts. She lost some blood, but rest will heal her. Keep her hydrated, watch for infection, and she'll need support for a few weeks. Zhang sits close, her hand clutching Tien's with a fierce grip, recounting the attack with a steady voice despite the tears streaking her cheeks, her voice breaking at times. I heard Hung and her boyfriend plot this in that room. I got photos of them near the bike, their faces half lit in the shadows, she says, handing her phone to Jack, her fingers trembling with the weight of her discovery. The images reveal blurry figures, their faces partially clear under the dim light, confirming Hung's treachery with chilling, undeniable clarity. The bike's license plate just visible in one frame. Jack's face darkens, a storm of rage, disbelief, and personal failure raging within, his hands clenching into fists until his knuckles whiten. "My own secretary," he growls, his voice low and dangerous, a tremor of betrayal beneath it. "I'm calling the police now, and I won't stop until she's held accountable." He dials, his tone icy and unyielding. "We have proof of an intentional attack. Send officers immediately, this is urgent." Tien, awake but dazed, her mind foggy from painkillers and trauma, recalls Hung's earlier threats in the office. Cold glares, muttered warnings, and a veiled promise of retribution, her heart sinking as the memory of that hostility floods back, mingling with the pain in her leg. The scene shifts to Jack's office, the photos capturing Hung's smug defiance as he confronts her, slamming the photos onto the desk with a resounding thud that echoes in the quiet room, the papers scattering slightly. "Explain this, Hung," he demands, his voice a blade of steel, his eyes boring into hers with a mix of disgust and sorrow. She stammers, her confidence faltering under his gaze. "I didn't. It's a lie, a setup by that farm girl." Jack cuts her off, his resolve unshakable. "The police are on their way. You're fired. We don't harbor criminals who harm others. Especially not someone I care about." Hung's eyes flash with fury, her voice rising to a shrill pitch. "This is because you rejected me. You're punishing me for loving you. For wanting more than this dead-end job." Jack shakes his head, his tone firm and final. "This is about your crime, not feelings. Get out, now, before I drag you out myself and let the law deal with you." The images show her storming out, her arrogance crumbling as the door slams shut with a force that rattles the frame and sends a framed photo crashing to the floor, leaving Jack to slump into his chair, the weight of betrayal pressing down like a heavy shroud, his mind racing with the need to protect Tien and the guilt of not seeing Hung's darkness sooner. Back at the farm, the photos depict Tien resting in her simple hut, her leg propped on a cushion stuffed with dried grass and soft cloth, the thatched roof casting soft, dappled shadows across her pale face as the afternoon sun filters through, the air carrying the faint scent of rain. Jack sits beside her, worry carving deep lines into his brow, his hand resting lightly on hers as he calls fuck. "Take Zhang home, she's exhausted. Then come watch Tien. I need you here to keep her safe, day and night if needed." Turning to Tien, he whispers, his voice thick with emotion and a hint of tears. "I'm not leaving you, not ever. You're safe now. I'll protect you with everything I have, with my life if it comes to that. I failed you once, but never again." Tien manages a weak smile, her voice trembling with gratitude, pain, and a flicker of hope. "Thank you, Jack. I thought I'd lose everything, my farm, my dogs, my life." He squeezes her hand, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. "No one will touch you again. I'll make sure of it. And I'll find a way to repay the stranger who helped you too." The images fade to the garden, where bamboo trellises stand tall against the golden sunset, their curves a symbol of resilience and renewal, the air filled with the scent of blooming jasmine and the distant hum of bees. Later, Fuck arrives, a quiet, dependable presence with a lantern in hand, and Jack steps outside, the photos showing him gazing at the starry sky, his breath visible in the cool night air as he vows to rebuild trust, shield Tien from the shadows that nearly claimed her, and perhaps seek out the stranger to thank him. Inside, Tien drifts to sleep, her dreams laced with the promise of safety and the faint bark of her recovering dog. The farm's gentle sounds, crickets chirping, leaves rustling, and the soft trickle of a nearby stream, a lullaby to her mending spirit, her heart slowly finding peace as the weight of the day lifts, leaving room for a fragile new beginning. When Jack hears that Tien's accident was caused by his secretary Hung, his reaction is a tempest of shock, searing anger, and resolute determination. Initially, he's struck dumb by disbelief, the revelation from Zhang's photos and testimony shattering his trust in Hung, a woman he once considered loyal, his mind reeling with the sting of betrayal and the image of Tien's blood on the ground. His fury ignites like a wildfire, driving him to confront Hung with irrefutable evidence, his voice a mix of grief, rage, and steel as he demands accountability, his hands shaking with the need to act. Without a moment's hesitation, he fires her on the spot, refusing to shield her actions, and reports the crime to the police with unwavering resolve, ensuring justice is pursued with every resource at his disposal. Beyond retribution, his concern for Tien transforms into a profound sense of responsibility. He rushes to her side, his guilt over missing Hung's malice fueling a steadfast commitment to her recovery, staying by her through the ordeal, vowing to protect her future with every ounce of his strength, and even planning to seek out the stranger who aided her, determined to honor that act of kindness with gratitude and support.